Let's start off with our two candidates are Yusuf Ahmed and Konstantin Kolias, known as Tino. So we'll start with 1 minute from Yusuf.
When do I start? Hi guys, my name's Yusuf. I'm running for VP of Activities and Development. I want to make the uni a more lively and better place. I want to do more charity events. I want to integrate societies more through collaboration events. I want to do collaboration events with other unis. I also feel that sports teams should get a discount at the gym because we need to train harder and get fitter to become better at sports. Besides that, I want to bring back varsity games for sports as well against a rival uni over the period of a week or so. I want to do maybe a whole charity week where all the activities and societies and sports teams get involved and they all work together to raise the most money or compete or something to raise the most money. And I also want to do more frequent and bigger events for students, like an improved Freshers Week and stuff like that, to make City a more lively and inviting place. I also want to promote the media through societies, the media outlets like City on Screen through societies, and societies through the media outlets as well, possibly by the media outlets covering the events. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm Tino. I've been in the SU for a few years, involved in a few positions like SRO. I've also been an US delegate, so I'm experienced representing the students and getting what they want to happen. I'm looking to try get more of a community feel for the people. Everyone feels like they want to stay over, stay longer at uni, feel part of the environment and comfortable, Definitely want to have, as Yusuf said, more varsity events. Like I've been involved in that myself. I've also organized a few events in the SU over the number of years. So I'm looking to get more of that going on, more integration between the clubs and societies, and I definitely want to help the media team kind of blow up a bit, get more attention. Students are more focused on what's going on, and then that they give live updates as much as possible.
Thank you both. So, first question, we'll start with an easy one. What experiences inspired you to run for VP Activities and Development? And we'll start with Tina.
As I pretty much already said, I was also the social secretary of the rugby team, so I organize events for the rugby team as well as other students of the university. So based on that experience, I'm looking to make more, promote them more, and get students to be kind of hooked, more engaged into it.
I've been involved in sports at City for 3 years now. I've been on the American football team for 3 years. This year I helped restart, and I'm on the committee of the Pakistan Society, which is one of the largest societies at City. And I've been involved in organizing events for more than 100 students at a time. And all of this has led me to believe that I can actually do a good job of this, I think, if I'm given the chance. So I really want to make the SU better and more lively and just build upon what we already have.
Thank you. So the next question is a little bit of a interesting one. What is the point of the student union supporting activities? Yusuf.
The point is that students pay a hell of a lot of money to come to uni. It's not all about work. They deserve to have some social experience, like socializing and, some good experiences and memories made at uni. And they shouldn't just be working all the time. They need an outlet so that they can relax and de-stress and then, work more efficiently and everything. So if a uni supports activities, then I think overall the uni is a better uni because it will just help the students become more engaged, more willing to turn up and enjoy their time at the uni more better than if they didn't have as many activities going on.
It's very important that students go through university having felt they've done the best in their work as well as had the best time. So I feel that a work-social life balance is the key thing for your good degree. And I've always gone to the SU previously and seen everyone happy, always enjoying themselves, and usually they're the ones I find that end up working the best. Like Yusuf said, they have an outlet, but that's not the main focus. It's more that you feel you're approachable, others are approachable as well. They're able to engage with each other, whoever they are, wherever they're from, open-minded.
Okay. Question which we received before the debate. How would you better improve communications between student societies, the student union and the university? Tino.
Well, most of the students do read their university email quite frequently, I believe. So I feel maybe going to a more basic way of communication, sending out mass emails, might get a little annoying, but that's one way to start promoting. Having a dedicated group for the activities and the social events so that all the students in one place can see and be updated from one location, say a Facebook group or Twitter account, anything like that.
Sorry, could you repeat the question?
How would you better improve communication between student society and the student union?
Well, communication can be improved through things like Tina was saying, social media and email, but also through better advertising as well, such as you've seen, the current VP, she's been advertising a new event called called Spectrum, that's the one thing, Spectrum, which is on Fridays, and like I'm pretty sure most of the people here know about it, and that's the way to improve communication, through better advertising and also engaging students more, maybe, approaching random groups of students in uni and just letting them know and be more informed. I think the SU could reach more students if they had more FaceTime with them.
Thank you. You started out talking about, the first question was about activities and why the student union should support activities. The other part of the job is development. It's VP activities and development. How would you fulfill the development part of the job? So, Yusuf.
So development, that's the university growing and becoming more lively place. So I personally think stuff like, supporting the teams more that we have at City and, building more societies. That's how you develop a uni in terms of activities, because you want to have more students being engaged and, going to these events and, being proud of their uni. Like I did my first year at Kingston, and over there when we had our varsity games, they had huge turnouts from people spectating the sports just to see, go and support their team and everything. And I believe that development is through student participation.
I've been here for like 5 years, so I've seen the development of the Students' Union. I've seen the development of the student experience from all the various previous VPs, presidents, and everything. And for the most part, I do personally see a development, especially when we got the new City Bar here. We were all very excited for it. It's a bigger space, more interaction for the students to use it. But like we used to have varsity games, and we used to have a lot more nights out where we would go with other universities, and that's the sort of thing that maybe I miss the most, but also other students do, It's good that students can communicate with their own university as well as others.
So, both of you have mentioned organising larger or more events in your manifesto, and again tonight as well. Have you organised any large or frequent events, and what were they? Yusuf, or is it? No, it's Tino.
I organised a few nights last year, for instance. I think and even the year before, had like a bikini one. No, not bikini, swimwear one. That was a fun one. Had a few theme nights, like a toga party, the normal sort of student party kind of thing. Yes. And I got quite a large turnout to each one, so, I'm hoping to, as we got more space now, to use it.
Like I said, on the committee of a society this year, so our meet and greet that I helped organise had around a turnout of 80 people. Our second event had a turnout of 120 people, and our third event, which we're currently organising and I'm helping to organise, is going to have a turnout of hopefully 200 people or more because we're hiring out a private hall. And yeah, that's how I have experience in organising large-scale events for students. And we have an end-of-year party that we organise, which will have, again, a turnout in excess of a couple hundred students potentially. So.
Obviously, the activities role covers a number of different groups, societies, charity fundraising, and so on. One of the groups is student media. What would you do to make sure that student media is as effective as it can be? This is to you, sir.
Okay. For starters, I've already said that in terms of student media. Sorry, what was the last part of the question again? Okay, yeah. To make it more effective, I was saying that if potentially we could have corroborations between the student media and collaboration, between the student media and the societies or sports teams even. For example, like you could have the media covering some of the larger events that some of the societies do and saying, this society is doing this large event and this is a video of, something like that. I don't know, like for example, Tamil Sok have Kings of Ghana, which is a huge dance competition event. And if they covered that, they could be like, this is what they do. And then they could raise the awareness of students so they would want to go to the event. But in return, the societies could advertise the media outlet to their members. So they could say, for example, City on Screen filmed us doing this. You guys should check out a lot of their videos and stuff. And that way, because I know that a lot of the people joined to societies and everything don't really know much about the actual media outlets we have here at the uni. I only found out about them this year, to be honest, as well. So raising awareness through societies, I think, is a good way.
Well, the student media has become a lot more effective as is, I believe. You know, more people are following the post on City Online, more students are watching City on Screen and listening, I believe, to City on Air a lot more. Probably for the newer students, the first thing I would do is with the welcome flyer, welcome fresh air events, explain, we got promotional videos that you can advertise for your events, etc. These sort of things, where the students feel they have the access, they have the fullest access they can of the media and use it to their support.
The Student Union has an alcoholic code of conduct for clubs, societies, sports teams and projects. How would you ensure that this is upheld? Tino?
Obviously, drinking responsibly is very important, and it's not everyone's priority to drink. So we have to have like a fair basis for everyone, so that everyone can have a good time. You know, no one wants to come in here and see someone being sloppy or messy or anything like that. It should be a professional environment where you can enjoy yourself and relax at the same time.
This one's a bit tough for me because I didn't actually know we had a code of conduct about that. But I would say that advertising through, I don't know, posters around a few places in the SU maybe or something saying drink responsibly, or, you know, even at society events, just friendly reminders to people, you know, would really help people not to, you know, go over the limit on what they can handle and drink or whatever and, you know, ruin other people's nights.
The Student Union has built up a good reputation for its sustainability initiatives, particularly Green Dragons project for which funding ends this year. And it has a policy to increase environmental awareness. How do you think the Student Union should go about doing this, increasing environmental awareness?
I think that so far they've done a good job of it. I mean, I've looked at that meter next to the men's toilets on the way to uni every day, pretty much for 3 years I've been here now. And I would say just advertising more like that is the key to this, because sustainability is shown through that. Like, I remember I saw a poster in uni that said, since I can't remember which year, City University has reduced carbon emissions by, well, emitted less carbon by 5,271 tons or something. And like that's how it's been, like, awareness has been raised. And I think just more advertising like that, more around the uni, would also help. And more, perhaps, like, if we could do more programs like the Green Dragon Initiative, or, it would really help, because everyone needs to be aware of sustainability, because it's a growing problem that we're having. I mean, we only have limited resources, so we all have to be educated enough not to, squander them.
Well, probably most of you remember, like, a few years ago, there was always, like, flyers about, it would always become scrambled in a mess. It's nice to see that the university has, like, cleaned it up, and a lot more people are sticking to sort of electronic media as a way to advertise as well. Keep it nice and clean, And for the most part, we are all growing in a society where we realize being environmentally aware is important for a sustainable future.
So this is the last question. Obviously, there's an awful lot involved in the position, an awful lot of things that you have to do. If at the end of your time as VP Activities and Development, you were known for one thing, what would that one thing be? What do you want to be known for in a year's time if you're elected?
I would like to be known and remembered for making sure that all the students at City have had the best time they could and the most fun they could have thought for, as well as getting the best quality degree possible for themselves.
In a nutshell, I would like to be known as the person who gave the Students' Union a larger voice, because I want to listen to what the students' concerns are and what they want improved. For example, I know we need, like, more pool tables in here and stuff. So I want to be the person who can give the students what they want I want to be their voice through their suggestions and critique.
So put your hands together for Tino and Yusuf. So we'll start with Umair.
Hello everyone, my name is Umar Farooq and I'm running for the VP Education position. Well, I've been around here in City for a while now, and I've come to believe that we students deserve someone to be represented by who has a strong personality, unwavering courage, and a loud voice, not the least. We students deserve someone who will actually listen to us when we want to say something, who will speak for us when we want to be heard by others, who will go that extra mile for us when we need them to, and get the things done at the end. And I believe I am that person. Thank you very much.
Hello everyone, my name is Umar Yunus Chowdhury. I'm the current postgraduate officer. I feel that the reason why people should vote for me is that I've actually had experience within the student union itself as a postgraduate officer. I feel a sabbatical team with experience will be beneficial, as you've had that hands-on role within the SU. Furthermore, I've also sat on Senate, which has been useful in in just decision making, and also understanding the structures and the foundations of how the university interacts with the student union and deans of schools. Also, I feel that integration within the university and the SU is very beneficial for long-term support from the university. So that's basically why I think you should vote for me.
Okay. Yeah, my name is Raza Zaidi, and when like all of these people talk about how they've been here for so long, I find it a bit funny. Tino has been here for very long, 5 years. He was a first year when I was in my final year. So I was there with this man, Rob Scully, right there. We had one of the most closely fought elections in CAS history, and so yeah, I've been here for a while. People ask me what I'm still doing here. That's a very good question. But yeah, so I've been in part of the students' union. I've been a part of this university for a very long time. Obviously, I took a break. 8 years in university would be questionable. Okay, so my campaign is surrounded around 3 things. My first point is basically I want to be a better channel of communication between the students and the administration. So that's one thing I'm aiming for. My second thing is basically just making ourselves more marketable and our education improving our education quality. Thank you.
Okay, same first question as we asked the VP candidates for activities and development. What experiences inspired you to run for Vice President Education? And I will direct this to Raza first.
So I've got a second lifeline. I can continue from where I left off. So, yeah, and it will answer the question as well. So what I basically saw was that a lot of students are like very, very loud, including myself. I'm probably one of the loudest here. So we get to say a lot in what happens in the students' union. I want to focus on including everybody in. So my third point is basically inclusion for everyone. And what I want to do is basically get everybody involved in this experience. That is the most important thing to improve this for everybody.
So the main experience is actually being part of the executive team within the SU at the moment. Also, not many people know I actually completed my undergrad over here as well at City University. That, I guess, inspired me to kind of represent the undergrads as well as the postgrads. Furthermore, being a postgraduate officer and also doing a master's alongside is very time consuming. You have to kind of dedicate a lot of time to, say, your education as well as your student union role. But at the end of the day, that can be very difficult. As a full-time role, you can dedicate 100% into the student union, and it can actually, I feel, I can make a difference in that sense. So yeah.
I'll be honest. As I said, I've been around here city for a while now. I've been a student rep, but even when I was the student rep, I didn't know there was an SRO for my department. I mean, everyone around here claims they were SRO, they've been in the union, they did that. On my campaign, I went into the lectures, and before I told them who I am, the first question I asked them is, do you know that your department has an SRO? Some of the students do say yes, and some of the students do say no. But when I ask them, do you know who that is? 95% students say, no, we don't know who the guy is. So for me, I don't understand that what SROs were actually doing, and why the first years and the second years have no idea, have no awareness if there is an SRO or who the SRO is. I want to raise the awareness of the students from the freshman year to know what are the societies, what are the departments of university, who to talk to, when to talk to, and how to go around the university and how to get their problems solved. Thank you very much.
Thank you. obviously a large part of the role of Vice President Education is supporting programme reps and the programme rep system. The programme rep system is very effective in some areas of the university, less effective in others. How would you engage and support programme reps to improve the effectiveness of the system across the whole university? Umar first.
One of my main points to actually regularly meet with the programme reps, make sure that there are constant meetings with them so that you understand, or as a VP of Education, you understand across the board what are the main problems, and also what are the positives out of the course as well. So it's great to name and shame all the negatives, but especially you can highlight the positives and develop further on what could be beneficial. Just my main aim is actually just to have regular meetings, possibly social events, or just literally just meet as a group, all the program reps, email them, support them, constantly keep in contact with them, because I feel at the moment it's not happening.
Sorry, Craig, is it possible, can I get the question again? Regarding program reps, it was very effective in our class, and I think it can be made that effective across all classes and courses. I think it's like when the new program reps are selected or elected by their their specific classes, there should be a social event every year in the beginning of the year, like maybe let's just say October. You call them, you tell them, oh, this is the duty, these are the persons you talk to, and everything. But all you have to do is educate the first years on time when they do decide to become the program reps. And later on within their years, I think they will do a pretty good job. It would be a lot more easier rather than having all 4 years and all 4 years people and program reps gathering up at the same place. It would be quite a huge party. Then I think educating first year is a lot more easier. Thank you very much.
I don't know how many of you have actually seen the video that's been posted, sitting on screen. Have you guys posted it yet? Okay. So I stated in that I'm a very, very firm believer in structure. And I would give this advice to you guys as well if I don't win. But see, I'm a geek. And I believe in structure and like Excel spreadsheets. So what I'm trying to think is I'll probably make a huge Excel spreadsheet of all the course reps. And I think what the gap here where is occurring is that you have course reps and on top of that you have SROs. So obviously I will try my best, but I can't approach every single course rep, can I? It's not effective. I will try my best, and in my Excel spreadsheet their details will be there, but it's the SRO that should be the point of contact for me, and for him it should be all the course reps. And if I do feel that there's one particular school or one particular area of a school that it's not effective, I will just go and approach him and like say, what can we do better? So it's all structure. I think we have a structure. If it's improved a bit more, I think it can become much, much more effective. Thank you.
Thank you. Many students take part in extracurricular activities. How will their skills be credited? So Umar, I think too.
How will their skills be credited? That is a very good question. And surprisingly, I'm not ashamed of admitting that I haven't thought about that yet. But when people are participating in extracurricular activities, I would say they should be appreciated for what they are doing, and the teacher should be a little bit lenient on them, but that wouldn't be fair with other students now, would it? I'm sorry, I don't have a proper answer for this question though. I'm not ashamed of admitting that. Thank you.
Okay, could I just clarify what you mean by credited? Officially recognized, okay. Obviously, those are extracurricular activities and they depend on student to student. We can't enforce particular extracurricular activities on everybody. But what I would suggest is that uh, it is such a big university city. We've got 17,000 plus students. I think it's very difficult to have like a one size fits all approach for all of us. So I think the best way to go by this would be to get opinions from everybody. One of the things that I'm really aiming for is like, if I do win the position, I will have extensive surveys and get feedback in terms of like very, very hard, clear data, because I believe in facts and getting opinions from people. So I think whatever is suggested and whatever people feel is the best way to deal with their own specific school or their own specific course, I think that would be the best way to go forward with. Thank you.
Sorry, just to clarify, is that credited as in awards based? Credited. Okay. Well, I mean, coming from a youth work background, credited to me means that you gain a certificate or an award. So essentially, we could actually implement a strategy to help fund students to go on accredited courses. So co-curricular activities such as, say, mechanical engineering or other courses such as languages. We can bring in some sort of accreditation in terms of awards.
VP education, again, like activities, is quite a broad role. Education is everything in the academic life of a student. What, in your view, are the most pressing issues in education at the moment for students and for students at City particularly? And I think, Raza.
As I said already, see, I'm not one of those candidates who's just going in with a dogma that, oh, I believe these are the most pressing issues and I think these should be sorted. What I want to do is get people's opinion on what their biggest issues are. There's some issues that I can potentially think of, but what I would like is like have everybody's specific issues, and there could be absolutely varying issues affecting different sort of groups. So my main goal is to just like be receptive to people instead of just enforcing what I believe in, and just get whatever the issues are. Once I've got them, once I have brainstormed it with other people, and then we can work out a solution, send out a survey, and once we get feedback from them, implement it.
Sorry, Craig, could you repeat the question, please? The most pressing issues currently, I feel, that are university fees. Many people find that can put people off within education, that they kind of feel they are oppressed in a sense in terms of fees. If they can't afford it, they feel that they can't join a university. So possibly encouraging people who can't afford fees to actually encourage them and increase the amount of scholarships and fundings for these students. That's all I can think of at the moment. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree a bit with my friend Umar here. There are a lot of students in this university at the moment. They're taking education along with part-time job or maybe full-time jobs. So basically, they have financial problems and they're studying at university, and most of the students are studying full-time courses. So some departments have like 5 days a week classes, and they're working on the weekends. There's a load of coursework and everything. But yeah, increasing scholarships and funding would definitely help our fellow students in their education, making their life easier. But it's not as easy as it sounds, just getting scholarships. I mean, I want to work for it as well, but it's a big idea though. Another way of improving the educational experience in the university would be our lecturers actually allowing us to use the lecture captures. That would definitely make a lot of students happy in this university. That's actually a majority of the students telling me that. Thank you very much.
as VP Education, you would spend a lot of time representing students to the university in various committees and meetings and so on. How will you ensure that you represent the views of students from across the institution when you go into those meetings? Umar.
To be honest, I'm the kind of person who loves surveys. I like going out there, asking people, how do they feel? What do they feel? What kind of support would you like to receive? What kind of feedback? Just feedback is a great way. It's a very qualitative, I think, qualitative way to actually gauge how students feel about their university. Taking that back up to the top, just take that to I guess your managers or who you have to refer to. I think that's a great way to actually measure how students feel. So yeah, feedback is the main point.
Actually, it's quite funny. I was coming with the same idea, but in a different manner though. Not online survey or some kind of thing. After doing this campaign for like 3-4 days now, I realized almost every department in this university, either it's CAS or health and science, almost every department gets major lectures, either in OTLT, that's Oliver Thompson Lecture Theatre, or Great Hall, and there are 3 or 4 bigger lecture theatres across the university in the Centenary Building, Burleigh, Gary. So, you know, when a huge number of students gather over there, you can find on the timetable and you can give them the survey specifically. And it's like what it takes. The lecturer can take out like 10 minutes and you can get the survey done. And that's the quickest way I figured out to get the feedback from every year about their experiences in the classroom regarding the university or anything else they want to talk about. Thank you.
Okay. I've actually got a practical example for this, because in 2011, when it was my final year, we were having the July graduation for the first time. And because of that, the January exams had to be brought forward. At that time, I used to be the SRO for CAS Business School. I sent out a general email, and the amount of feedback that I received, I don't know if Rob remembers this or not. Rob, do you remember the amount of feedback I gathered for 2011 exam thing? It was volumes of feedback. So I just sent out, as the SRO, I just sent out a general email and got volumes and volumes of feedback. Because I thought I was very, very involved in this, I actually went up to the ADU with our president at that time, Amish Patel, and discussed the possible solutions that could be brought about. And because of our efforts, for the year afterwards, 2012 academic year, they were given 1 extra week before the Jan exams. So yeah, I think like obviously this is something I've actually done, and I think if brought to a similar situation, I think a similar strategy would be suitable.
Okay, last question, and very similar to the last question for the VP activities. If you were known for one thing at the end of your time as VP Education, what would you want that one thing to be? And we'll start with Raz.
If any of you have seen my posters, my poster doesn't say a lot. It just says victory in inclusion. I think I would have done my job if I do get many more people involved. If people feel that yes, this students union is representative of us. Yes, no matter where we're from, what race, what gender, what orientation, we are represented. This is our union, and our voice is heard. I think if I can pull that off, that would be achieving my goal.
If I do get elected, and after that, if I do want to be remembered by, I think it would be great if I do get remembered by that this guy came here, he promised something and he delivered. So I want to be remembered by the guy who delivered. Thank you.
To be honest, I'm not interested in people remembering my name, to be honest, as a legacy. I'm not here for a legacy. I'm here to actually make a difference. And whether people remember my name or not, that's irrelevant. At the end of the day, I want to make sure that the university and the union are actually working together hand in hand, not fighting against one another, because working together can actually help move the whole university forward. Also, yeah, no, I think that's about it really. Just it'll help move the university forward, and people who leave the university will feel that at the end of the day they're happy with the education they receive from City University.
Thank you very much all. As I've said before, polls will open at 12 o'clock on Monday online, and you can vote for whichever candidate you want to at that point. Please put your hands together for your VP Education candidates.
Hello. Well, I guess you can guess that partly it's because I've run for VP Education, but I was interested in President last year because I was the SRO for the School of Arts and Social Science, and I remember at the time coming into the Students' Union and feeling like, as a part-time officer, that I could hardly do anything, and it was that experience that made me realise that there was something wrong with the way the union works, and that we needed to change it completely. And I tried to change it as a SRO, and I didn't really find that I had power to do that. And I've tried to give the part-time officers more power this year because of that. And then I tried as VP Education, and I think the more that I've done it, the more I've realised that being the chair of the trustee board, which is what the trustee is, which is what the president role is where you have the real power to change the union and to really look at everything it does and why it does it, and make the change that it needs to be able to support all the students that are here and all the students that depend on it. So yeah, I guess that's where I'm at. Thank you.
In my opinion, a leader is someone who believes in other people. It is necessary that a president or a leader be able to work with everyone. He should be there to support everyone, be part-time position or full-time other positions. It is necessary that we understand that we lack structure, and the thought of believing in people and making them have more support, which I did, and the way I reacted in the AGM this year gave me confidence that we can do this. And it's not about me being a leader, it's about my thinking of giving more support to the other faces of Students' Union, which is not known by. And I think the fact that we can work together is the role of a leader, and that's why I think I ran for this position.
Okay, from a student, what in your view should be the guiding objectives of the Student Union? And this first to Ahmed.
I think right now the union is known by three faces, which is the president, the vice president activities, and the vice president education. We need to give support to other paid part-time officers, because a president might not be able to understand the problem of a law student. However, the SR of a law will be able to understand that position. Unfortunately, our union lacks that. We have not given enough importance to part-time student officers. And that is how we'll create a structure which has a strong foundation, and we will withstand any storm. And yeah, thank you.
Hi. So I think the guiding objectives, I think there should probably, I'm thinking for me next year if there should be, well, the first one, there should probably be two. But mainly it's that all kind of student leaders. I put through a policy at the AGM last year which was about supporting student leaders because I felt that students any students that were coming in trying to like do activities and be like a part of the university through the union weren't getting that opportunity. And that isn't just part-time officers, although they are a big part of that, but it's also society committee members and sport people through sports representation and media editors. Those students need the opportunity to be able to lead. And at the moment they don't, and they can't. And that it goes back to what I said in my opening statement. You know, we have regulations and we have a constitution that gets in the way of students being able to lead. And we're a student union which is designed to support members. Fundamentally, we're an organisation that's about supporting our members and helping students to lead. And so that should be its guiding objective.
Thank you. As president, you would represent students generally. You would represent the student body, but often students disagree about major issues. So if you were faced with a time when students disagreed about a major issue, how would you go about representing them? Issy.
It's an interesting question because there's 17,500 students here, so students are going to disagree, and they do disagree often. And that's one of the great things about the AGMs we run and the general meetings. It gives an opportunity for students to have a say and to put through policies and to vote on them and to get other students involved. And I guess it comes back to getting students to get involved with the cause so that they can go around and widely consult. And we have things like referendums at our that we can use. And I guess we don't do enough kind of public debates and discussions and getting a wide range of students involved. And I think sometimes we don't do enough like actual core focusing. One of the things that I want to do kind of weekly next year is Tea with the VP, which I did last year, so that every week I'm getting students' views and that I know what students are doing and that they kind of know what I'm doing and what the Students' Union are doing. But
I think that's a great thing that students at City do. Disagree. We're not dictators. We're a democracy. They have the right to disagree. And that gives us this other side of the coin that we have to look at. This gives more insight to Students' Union and to find a possible way to solve the problem. Not just looking at one major aspect of it, but also looking at the other side. And sometimes we do need the students to remind us of that. So I think them disagreeing gives us a better vision of where the union should head. Thank you.
As president, what would you do to help international students? And I think it's...
As I spoke about the union previously, I think none of you might know, but except some of you, that I was serving as the International Students Officer this term in union. And yes, we do lack support. The International Students Officer doesn't have enough training. He doesn't know who to go to report to. He doesn't know who he should go to ask for advice. How are the problems going to be solved? The fact that the president will give training, support, and advice to the International Students Officer, he would know how to tackle the problems. One of the main issues here is that we've got a hardship fund at City University which pays only £2,000. Unfortunately, the International Students Officer can't do anything about it because he doesn't have support or power. Now, you might ask, how is the hardship funds going to be improved? Well, it's easy. It's easy. Ask the university to have more affiliations with different departments or companies or corporations. We have that, but we lack in the numbers. We lack in the amount of hardship funds. We need to increase that. We need to give support to International Students Officer, and the problems of international students will be solved. Thank you.
I think a big problem with this debate is that actually a lot of the big major problems with international students that it's out of our hands. But as a London university, we are in a better position to join other universities to put pressure on the Home Office to treat international students fairly. As a city student, the rights of international students are more important to us than almost any other university because we have so many of them. And I think we really need to join in other universities to fight the Home Office on that. Thank you.
Thank you. Will you work for the reduction of academic fees for city students?
Yeah, of course I will. Like, the fact that students are paying £9,000 in fees is obviously ridiculous. One of the things that is being discussed quite a lot is the opportunity that universities can put them down to 6,000, and that's in their control. And I think we need to be very strong in forcing our universities to be one of those universities that takes a stand and charges their students £6,000. Yeah, and I think part of that is being able to know where that money is being spent. I think now that everything about the university is coming out of our pockets, we need to know where that money's going. And I think the financial transparency of the university isn't clear right now. We all know that the university spends money in kind of weird ways. And so it's important that we know how much is being spent on our staff and our lecture time, on our facilities that we have for us, and not on research or I don't know, university doorbells. Yeah, it's important for us to find out what the university is spending our money on.
I'm going to sit here and lie to you. Yes, we will get the fees down. No, you need to know the whole picture. The reason that home students have had such a high fees is because United Kingdom on its own is having an immigration problem. Previously, you had the international students closing that gap of of fees deficit. But if you want to cut down on immigration, you have to increase the amount of home students. Now, let me tell you this also, that yes, we can get it subsidized by our university. But sitting and saying, yes, I will get it down with a very big margin, that's not going to happen, and I'm not going to sit here and lie to you about that. Thank you.
In November, the annual general meeting passed a policy to support students of faith. How would you support students of all faiths and none at City University?
If someone has read my manifesto, it has clearly been stated over there. And before I state this point, I will state that I will give support and power to part-time officers. Having said that, it is clearly written on my manifesto that I will create a multi-faith officer position before next elections, and maybe before October elections. This way, we will get representatives of all the different faiths at City. And trust me, we have a lot of faiths which need to be represented solely in the Students' Union. And that's how I'm going to do it. Thank you.
One of the things that was really great about the work that was done this year was the interfaith campaign that was done by our VP Activities, and I think a really great video came out of that, which really celebrated the amount of the amount of faiths that are on our university, and I think we need to make that bigger next year. But there are obviously a lot of ongoing campaigns around faith that we need to address, and the university knows that they need to address, but we need to push harder, particularly. The campaign to get a timetable free between 12 and 1, so that students have time to go and pray and come back. To get more interfaith rooms on campus. This is there is an interfaith room that's part of the new buildings that's going to happen in the Tape, but we need to push for that space to be bigger, and if possible to have two. I think we need to. I think an international officer is a multi-faith officer is a great idea. I think that we often expect some of our our BME officer to do the interfaith work, and it's a completely different position. Or our international officer to do the interfaith work, and again, it's a completely different position. So, I think that's a really good point. But I think fighting on the campaigns that we already have going on, and really celebrating the interfaith work that happened last year, and do it again, but bigger and better.